What's going on, everybody? Lead Farmer 73 here. I'm gonna just get this right out in the open, right off the bat. No beating around the bush, no priming up the, no waiting for notifications, none of that. Listen, I saw something. I saw something today that blew my mind. I saw something last week that blew my mind. I went back home to Toledo, Ohio, my hometown where I was born and raised. And one of the things I noticed, they had fixed a lot of things in my hometown, in my city. They had made a lot of things look nice, but they weren't. They had made a lot of things. It was like everything was kind of like a polished turd. You know what I'm saying? Everything looked better, but it wasn't. I felt like I was in, it felt like I was in the Twilight Zone. You know that episode of the Twilight Zone where everything seems normal until the lady woke up in the hospital and everything seems normal until the doctors and the nurses took their mask off and they was like pig people, right? And they thought she was the ugly one. It's like that show Sliders or Quantum Leap. Like I'm in a different timeline. I'm living the same as everybody else, but it's like on another timeline or something. When I was home, I felt like this is an imitation of my home. I felt like I was in a zoo. I felt like, you know, probably how a lion must feel in the zoo. We do everything we possibly can to accommodate the lion. We try to make his captivity feel or look or simulate the wild. We try to simulate where he's supposed to be, but the lion knows something is wrong. Even if the lion is born in captivity, even if the zoo animal is born in captivity, they know deep inside, you can see it on like an ape or a chimp, you can see it on their face that this ain't right. Something ain't right about this. Well, here's the thing. While I was home, that's how I felt. I felt like this kind of looked like my home, but it's so many things that ain't right. It's so many things that ain't right. So I'm gonna touch on this. As I was driving through the city, everything looked like my hometown. It didn't feel like my hometown. I knew something was wrong. Out of all of y'all saw me driving through my hood, driving through one of my old hoods, driving through my city. And you could see, you know, you could see some of the parts of the city that I was driving through ain't the best. But this what got me. How is my street that one of the last streets we lived on before I left was LaGrange? How is this street still this jacked up? But as I'm driving through the city over to my birthplace where I was born and raised, the street I was born and raised on, there's a hospital over there. I'm not going to name it. There's a hospital over there. Okay, by the time I saw the hospital, it was becoming nightfall. This did not look like a hospital. The other part is all of the surrounding area of the hospital was lightweight, fairly impoverished. The hospital itself looked identical to a casino. And it blew my mind. I'm driving through my city. Y'all was with me live. And you were able to see what I saw, pretty much. And you saw it, you know, old lad ain't from some of the best parts of town. But what you didn't get a chance to see was I drove past two of our major hospitals. They both looked like you're in a casino in Nevada. Neon lights, helicopter pads for the rich and important. I mean, I know that's not what the helicopter pad is for, but that's what it looked like, okay? Helicopter pads on several different levels of the hospital, neon lights around the whole thing like it's Christmas time or a casino. This hospital's campus took up the whole neighborhood of my old stomping grounds, my old fishing hole where I used to go fishing all the time. All of that land now belonged to the hospital. All of the people that used to live there, they tore them houses down. Them was some fairly nice houses at the time. Tore them people's houses down. They probably bought them out for little or nothing, pennies on a dollar, and then turn around and built their hospital even bigger. Now, when I was born and raised, our hospital was huge, and we even had a nationwide, one of the best hospitals in America. We also had one of the best zoos in America, and we was proud of that. Well, when I went back to see it has even, I'm not going to even say it has grown. To me, looking at this new hospital was like the Blob, where it had consumed all the houses and engulfed all the houses around it like a forest fire. And now all you see is the forest blaze, right? You can see, like in California, the forest blaze. You can see the blaze from satellite. Well, this is what this hospital reminded me of. As you driving, all you doing is seeing this hospital. We should have passed the hospital 5 minutes ago. Why are we still passing parts of the hospital after 5 minutes of driving? So I go on to a different part of town where my wife was raised up at. This hospital is in the middle of, looks like a battlefield because the neighborhood is so bad. But this hospital looks like a mothership from outer space. Lights everywhere, all of this unnecessary building structures and architecture. The thing that gets me about this is you got all these beautiful neon lights and everything. Yes, it looks warm and welcoming. But once you get inside of this thing, just like on TV, Independence Day, a mothership from outer space, once you reach the inside of this, nothing good is going to happen. Even if they save your life, they take your life. You want to hear what I mean by that? Even if you go inside of one of these gigantic, enormous hospitals, even if you go inside, they may save your life, but they also end up taking your life slowly. Because they will charge you so much for saving your life, it slowly kills you to have to try to pay for it. You robbing Peter to pay Paul to pay the hospital. You borrowing money. They ruin your credit record. You end up selling your house, and your emotions is part of that. You worked all your life to purchase this stuff, right? You worked all your life to try to leave some kind of wealth for your next generation to come. And now you owe it all to the hospital where they got these neon lights and helicopter pads and ridiculous architectural structures built on it. No hospital need no damn skylight. I used to work in hospitals. I know how they work. I know the insides and outsides of them. You don't need that to save a person's life. Okay? So my point is, where's this money going? Is all the infrastructure money that's going to these cities being spent on the hospitals that's actually charging the patients? If the hospital is making all this money, don't you think the patient should get a little break? Like, damn, this person is about to die. Yeah, you saved them. What on God green earth make you think they're going to be able to work longer to pay for this bill? You know, when we go to restaurants, all of us, when you're on vacation or whatever, when you're on a vacation, you know you messed up, or on a date, you know you messed up if you go inside of a restaurant and they hand you the menu. Thank you, garçon. Thank you. I would like this. I can't hardly pronounce this, but how do you say the filet mignon? I don't speak French, but it's not how it's pronounced. You're looking. Everybody do this when they get a menu. You start flipping it open. Your date don't know you're doing this, but what you looking for, the dessert? Yeah, I'm kind of looking for the wine selection. You not looking for the wine selection. You know what you're looking for? The prices. Gentlemen, you know you're looking for the prices, because if she orders something that you can't afford, we need to go across the street to Checkers or Rallies. You're looking for the price. So you know, and I know, if you ain't got money like that, you don't even have to look at your bank account soon as you wake up. Soon as I wake up, I give the Father thanks for waking me up. I roll over, I kiss my wife, and I check my bank account. If you do not do things in that order, you may have a problem. But this is what I do in my life and in my household. I wake up. I give thanks to the Father for thank you for giving me another day to try this again. I roll over, kiss my wife. Thank you for my wife. Thank you for my pride, my present rather. Thank you for my wife. My Lord gave her to me. Then I check my bank account. Did I overdraft? Okay. So if you don't have to go and check your bank account every day, in those restaurants, you're looking for a price. How on God's green earth is it even legal for you to walk into an establishment and you have no choices? Your life is literally on the line, and you walk into these establishments and you would think your family members would have a menu. The doctor comes in, the doctor and the nurses are like your waiters and waitresses. They will be taking care of you this evening, and that's what they say. When I was a nurse, I come in, hi, my name is, I gotta change my, hi, my name is Led Farmer. I'll be taking care of you this evening. Anything you need, here's the call button here, right? Okay, that's what the doctors and nurses do. No different than your waiter or waitress or your flight attendant, correct? They also start telling you, here's the menu and here's the prices. The waiter and the waitress do. Doctors and nurses and medical staff don't have to tell you nothing. They're going to tell you what's on the menu. Okay, you're going to need dialysis. You're going to need a transplant. You're going to need a blood transfusion. You're going to need this. We need to get some labs worked up. We need to take you down to get an MRI. Nobody is saying nothing about no prices. So you know, inside of one of these restaurants where they say, today the halibut is fresh, it's on the menu, it is very good, my monsieur, and it's so delicious. So we got the, I'm mixing Spanish and French. We got the Chef Gonjon back in the back, and he will be taking care of all of your food, right? Correct? Okay. Right. Where are the prices? So the next thing you know, the waiter is telling you what's on the menu, what you're going to need, what's your options, what's fresh today, today's special, right? He's telling you, okay. And you pull him to the side, okay, hey, I'm really trying to impress this young lady. Hey, how much is that halibut? Oh, sir, do not worry about it. I got you. I take care of you. Okay. You go into one of these hospitals that now look like a mothership spaceship from outer space, or it looks like a casino in Vegas. Ain't nobody telling you no prices. You go in these hospitals and you come out, you accrue so much debt in just a 3-day hospital stay. With or without insurance, mind you. You accrue so much debt. That's one of the things that messes you up. You can't go to the hospital. Why you think so many of us be like, I ain't going to the hospital? Listen, I passed out, bust my head through a wall. And you know what I told my wife? I ain't going in there. And don't call an ambulance neither. Don't call them neither, because they won't, they ain't part of the hospitals no more. They all contractors, separate contractors. So the ambulance, you got an ambulance bill, and that's $500 right off the rip, and you got a hospital bill. Look, it's cheaper to bury me, baby. We've gotten to a point, baby, honey, it's cheaper to bury me. I done wrote it on a piece of paper. DNR, do not resuscitate. It's cheaper to bury me. By the time the ambulance pick you up, and then you go through the ER, as soon as somebody signed that John Hancock on that piece of paper, we instantly owe 20 grand for some reason, and you still in the doggone lobby puking up green stuff. Just to find out your aunt's Jello was making your belly rumble. That's all. Or you know good and well you allergic to beans, and you know you ain't had no business eating that. You allergic to that. I know, but it's so good. You go in there just to find out now you owe $50,000 in medical bills, and they's gonna get it, whether they rip it out your pocket or they ruin your life. That's where we come in with the prisons. They build more prisons because if you don't pay that bill and they put out a lawsuit against you, you're going to jail. And they're making it easier to go into jail than to get out. Man, why is there so many jails? Make the hospitals bigger and build more jails. But the school system, as I'm driving through my old hood, I'm driving through my old city, all my old beat up, busted up ass schools look the same. They rebuilt a couple, but get this, dig it. They completely demolished my junior high school, my one of my high schools. I went to two separate different high schools, one I met my wife at. They demolished my high school, they demolished my junior high school, and they demolished my elementary school. They don't even exist anymore. So everybody, I'm like, what school is everybody going to? Then you drive down a road somewhere and see all these damn trailers. Either they're modular trailers, or it might be one of them old tractor trailers that now you can buy for about $5,000 and turn into a tiny home. They're making kids learn in these cooped up little modular trailers with a house air conditioner hanging out the window. And we keep wondering why our kids is in school cutting up. Man, they like sardines. I watch one school let out while I'm driving past, and the door opened up, and it was like they didn't come out of the doors. When I was in school, the school bell rang and we came out of the doors. Remember that? Here's the steeple, look inside and see all the people. The doors opened and we left. We came out of the school. That's not what I saw. I saw them pour out the school. They poured out like liquid. It was so many kids inside of these little modular trailers. They poured out. You couldn't tell. It was like a Where's Waldo poster. You couldn't tell their arms from their legs, from their heads, from their torsos, from their book bags. And you know children like all these strange colors these days. You don't know. And their hair is different colors. You can't make one kid out. You got to wait till they thin out on the sidewalk, and dry off a little bit, because they all look like they stuck together like a wet pack of Skittles. And I'm looking at this like, what the hell am I looking at? What am I looking at? You ever ate a Hershey bar and you left it in your car and it melted all together? So you say, forget breaking off the little squares. You just start eating a whole oddball Hershey ball. It ain't even a Hershey bar no more. It's a Hershey ball. That's what these kids look like. They look like they was all melted together. And I'm sitting here, just 5 miles down the road is the mothership hospital. 5 miles down the road the other way is a brand new prison. 5 miles in another direction is a great job where I used to work. And it's like, it's so stark differences of all of this stuff. But this is the worst part. What's keeping it all glued together is the same jacked up ass neighborhood. You got a hospital. What a smack in the face. You cannot be proud of a hospital that looks like it's Space Station 9, you know, from the Enterprise, Star Trek. You got a hospital that looks like a starship, and it's yellow police tape just a couple of blocks away from the last crime or the last murder or the last shooting. And it's corner stores over here where all they sell is honey buns, liquor, and cigarettes. This corner, you don't even sell tater chips no more? Nope. Honey buns, cigarettes, and malt liquor. Who drinks malt liquor? This is 2023. I told you I done beamed up in the future. Now y'all got to hang with me. I left y'all in 2022. I'm going to keep saying it because I'm gone. I'm gone. I'm not here no more. Y'all hearing from me on a different planet. I'm from a whole nother star. You know them light years. So my message is just now getting to y'all. I'm in 2023, baby. So I gets back. What make me do this video is my wife had to go, so I'm here by my crazy self, and my brain is scrambling. So I don't like sitting at home by myself, you know. I do crazy stuff. So I said, I'm going to keep myself busy. I tell my wife, baby, I'm going to keep myself busy. I'm going to go and get my friends. We're going to go to the range, and we're going to pop off a few of them. So as I'm driving back home, I hadn't been on this side of town in a long time. Partner of mine say, we don't go there. We don't like going that range. We only go that range on Wednesday. Let's go to this other range. Cool, I'm with that. I ain't never been to that range. So as I'm driving to that part of town, thank you, Tam. Thank you for that. Thank you. As I'm driving to that part of town, I'm sorry, Tam, I didn't see you. You see, I'm all up in arms. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. As I'm driving to that part of town, they have started building onto one of our major hospitals, and it's 4 times the size since I last seen it a year ago. I can't make this up. It used to be restaurants all around it. And some of my nursing friends is watching me right now. You know what I'm talking about. I can't mention where it is, you know, because you're still there. It's 4 times the size since no, I take that back. I'm gonna say this again. It's 3 times the size since last year. No. 2 times the size since last year. 4 times the size since I worked there. What's really going on? Why are they making all the hospitals bigger? Why are they building more prisons? No jobs, more prisons. Bigger hospitals, no food in the grocery store. What are we doing? Please tell me something. What are we doing? Oh my God. And I'm not talking about they built the parking lot bigger. I'm not talking about they built a east wing onto the hospital. No, I'm telling you, these hospitals are like small cities. Have you ever been inside of one of these ginormous mothership hospitals where when you come in, they give you a map? We used to have to hand out maps just so you can find your mama. They told us we can't keep taking people to, we used to walk them to their family member. You can't do that no more because it'll take you, if you're a medical professional, you ain't got time to be walking them to go find a loved one because you is really like amusement park or the airport where the trolley come around on the train with the little long golf cart and come pick you up and take you to the shuttle. You need a shuttle at these hospitals. They need, when you go to see your mama or your daddy or your grandparent, they need a shuttle to take you there. They need a damn, a treasure hunter. Them people that you go rent and you hire to go find gold up under the ocean, a sunken ship. I just was so blown away today. I called my wife like, I'll talk to you when you get back home. But right now, man, I need to know what's really going on. So I'm going to tell you this, and I'm going to leave this alone. They're making the hospitals bigger because we're eating worse. We're eating garbage. We're getting sicker. And everybody keep thinking it's the stuff that's been going on for the last 2 years. That's new. The stuff that been going on for the last 2 years, the Band-Aid, don't mention it. You know what I'm talking about. Getting the Band-Aid, that's new. That's brand new. These hospitals been getting bigger for the last 50 years. How did we go in, let me see, this is 2023. I'm sorry, y'all in 2022. We in 2022, so I'm going to give it in 70 years. My mama got me this robe. Ain't it a beast? Thank you, Sensei. It's a beast. We in 70 years, we've went to doctors making house calls. The doctor literally coming to your house 70 years ago. Now, you got to look at it. I'm almost 50 years old, so I lived in those days where a doctor would still come to your house. A doctor coming to your house. A doctor having enough time to come to your house. Can you believe that? That sounds like some kind of Twilight Zone myth. Doctors actually coming to your house. Don't that sound luxurious? Where my mama would call my pediatrician. He's still got a fever, doc. My doctor, and I'm going to say his name, because some of y'all had him too. Dr. Gray. Dr. Gray said, oh, don't worry, Miss Liv Farmer, I'll be on my way. I'm leaving the office now. And I would see my doctor at my house. Can you believe that? That sounds mythical. How do we go in just 70 years? Because I know some of y'all young folks think 70 years is a long time. It ain't. 70 years ago, not even 70 years ago. If you think about it, 70 years ago, they was making house calls. How do we go from house calls to you need a transit system to get a person from the ER to surgery? Part of what we did in the hospital was transport. Listen closely. If you don't understand how the inside of a hospital work, I'm gonna drop a little bit of knowledge on you. Inside of a hospital, they have a job specification for people. You're nothing. I ain't gonna say you're nothing because that sounds wrong. Your job is a transporter. All you do all day is transport patients from the ER to the ICU to surgery to X-ray. That is your whole job. It ain't too many people really know about that. You go in there and you can sign up, or they're going to give it to you, a job as a transporter. That is your only job. And it sounds simple, sounds like it's boring, sounds like you have nothing to do, but those people will be moving for 8 to 12, I'm sorry, not 8 hours. They work 12 hours like us. They will be working for 12 to 16 hours, transporting patients in beds, rolling beds down the hallway all freaking day. That's how big hospitals are. I can't make that up. We got to figure out a way to stop packing the jails and packing the hospitals. I got a simple solution for you. Grow your own food. No, the nurses, we got to take them to the morgue. Transport ain't allowed to do that. I don't know if they are now, but only medical professionals can take you to the morgue. I've put a lot of people in Ziploc bags and took them down to the refrigerator. So I don't know if that has changed, but now, or yes, and or security takes them, correct. Either us nurses or security, correct. Lori, correct. That's the only people allowed to do it. The transport team cannot do that. So there's a way to stop this trend. We have to grow our own food because it seemed like we so worried about the Band-Aid. We so worried about wearing stuff on our mouth so we don't catch stuff. That I don't think that's the big picture. Everybody made this a big thing over the last 2 years. That's not the big problem. That's not the problem. It's what they're giving us to eat. Now, several restaurants have come out and stated to us in facts and in science, this is not meat. They had to admit it. Nobody has stopped going to those restaurants that said, no, that's not chicken. It's chicken-ish or chicken-esque. It's not chicken, though. That's not honey. That's honey-ish. Those vegetables that you're eating, yeah, we grew that, but the reason it's so beautiful because we had to spray all these chemicals on it. So your medication that you need is right out here in your yard. Go look it up, Angie. Go just Google it. I'm not going to speak on nothing now. I'm telling you, you got to do your own research because I don't want you on here like Laird Farmer said this. No, go look it up. You'll see for yourself. And that's what we need to do is pay better attention to what's really going on. We quick to find out who the hell Jennifer Lopez married again like we all give a damn. We worried about Jennifer Lopez's love life, but we ain't worried about this famous restaurant chain talking about some, yeah, it's not chicken. It's kind of this paste that we turn into chicken. We're worried about the wrong stuff. We're worried about entertainment. Our entertainment has become our knowledge. And I just proved that over this past week. Our entertainment is more important than our own salvation. So I'm going to leave that right there. I just wanted to bring it to your attention because I know what's happening in your city too. I'm from a small city, fairly. And I know if it's happening in my city and in my township, it got to be happening in these big cities like New York, Chicago, Dallas, Texas, Houston, Florida. I know it's happening in y'all big cities, man. Don't tell me it ain't. California, parts of Cali. Please tell me the truth. It ain't just us. Somebody says San Francisco. It ain't just us building more jails. Now, how many jails, how many prisons does a small city really need? Think about this, and I always tell you this, right? I say I like to talk about the problem for a hot minute, but I want to sit down and powwow and discuss the solutions. Let's mention the problems and really discuss the solutions. One of the solutions is growing your own food so our health can get better. That way you know what you eating. Because you don't know what you eating when you buy it from a restaurant. You don't know what you eating when you buy it from the grocery store. You don't know what you eating. And I'm no stranger to none of that. You don't know. Everybody keep talking about well, the label said, who wrote the label? That's one of our biggest human faults right there. We say something is scripture. We'll say something is set in stone because it has been written somewhere. And then nobody's asking who wrote it. Nobody is asking who wrote it. Oh, this is sugar-free. This is sugar-free. It says it's sugar-free right here. Who wrote it? It tastes just like sugar because it's sugar. You know, I over this ever since that deer video I did, right? Ever since that deer video, I've had real conversations with vegetarians and vegans, and on a wonderful conversation. Actually, it started out a little irate, but it calmed down to be a very informative discussion. So when you tell me you're eating vegan burgers or veggie burgers, says who? Yeah, this is tofu. Says who? They're buying these veggie burgers and veggie meals and vegan patties. Like, it tastes just like meat. Well, why are you eating it? Why are you even wanting it to taste like meat if you're a vegan or if you're a vegetarian? Why even care if you're so that dead set on staying away from meat and destroying animals for your consumption? Why do you want it to taste like meat? I don't get it. And nobody that I've spoken to so far can answer that. Why do you want it to be shaped like a hamburger? Why do you want it to be shaped like a chicken bone? You know, my wife showed me this one video where this young lady on her video, now they're selling wooden chicken bones, like the leg, wooden chicken bones. And they're making their own little tofu recipe, glue it around the chicken bone and make it look like a chicken leg. I can't make this up, as ridiculous as this sounds. They do their cooking to it and come back and be like, it looks like chicken and it tastes just like chicken. If you're so dead set on not wanting to harm the animal, but your mindset is still like you still miss the flavor of animal meat, you might need to go talk to somebody, because it's something else going on up here. See? And with that being said, are you a vegan? If you still crave the same stuff you getting on me about eating, you're getting on me about eating certain things, but you crave it so bad, you bought a wooden chicken leg, you tofu'd and made this shape like a chicken, and boom, you in your mind are making this, even the flavors taste like chicken. Why do you want to even do that? So you're trying to stay away from something, but you still have the cravings of it. That's like those e-cigarettes, like, tastes just like nicotine. You think that's really solving anything? It's not. It's not. So you only know it's yours. You only know it's right if you grow it, if you raise it, if you are taking care of your livestock, if you are knowing what are you feeding your garden, what kind of fertilizer are you putting in it, what are you feeding your chickens and turkeys and hens and rabbits. That's the only way you know. You don't know what you're buying out of the grocery store. The only thing you can tell from the grocery store, and that's not even true no more, is I was gonna say you can tell this is beef, you can tell this is chicken. It's certain things, as long as the bone is in it, you can figure it out. But they're gluing pieces of meat onto real pork bones and real beef bones now. They're gluing it on. So you don't know who, sorry, you don't know what you're eating anymore. Bumps. You don't know what you eat no more. Because if you don't believe it, go look at the chicken glue or the meat glue. All it is a blood, the same chemical that makes your blood coagulate. They're taking the coagulant out of animals and they're making that coagulate this meat together, just like it would do if you had a wound, and stick it together. Just like when you get a scab, okay, it started to coagulate first. That's for people don't bleed out. Coagulate first, hardens up, it eventually turns into meat, right? It turns back into a piece of you. Here's a scar on me that I just did the other day. See this scar? Okay, I was bleeding profusely. You know, the blood coagulated, stuck my meat back together. I'm fused. No different. They're gluing this meat together and you will not know. I told y'all I was a butcher in Kennesaw, Georgia. I told y'all this, and we did some stuff that I don't even care to mention. Chicken isn't a real animal anyway. What do you mean by that, DB? What do you mean by a chicken ain't a real animal anyway? I'm gonna leave that alone because I can't do that. What we need to be doing is growing our own food. What we need to be doing is growing our own food. It's that simple. It's that simple. If you're growing your own food, it's not going to be so much mental health problems going on. It's not going to be that many physical problems going on. And when you don't have physical problems, you don't have mental problems, that helps your financial problems. What helps your financial problems, then you don't have to end up in jail. It's like a domino effect. It's like a domino effect. We got to start somewhere to make this trend stop. And I'm telling you, it's as easy as your own backyard. Joan, my town population is 11,000, just switched from men's to women's. I'm going to leave that one alone, Joan. I don't know nothing about that. The whole thing I'm saying, we can solve a lot of these problems right here in our own backyard. Listen to this. This is the crazy part. I'm about to burn your bread now. It ain't about voting for nobody. This is putting your hands in the dirt and changing the outcome of your future. This is about taking your hands, putting them in the dirt, making food come out and changing the outcome of your future. Financially, physically, criminally, all of the above. Spiritually, because when you out in that garden, if I told y'all what I was out there doing today in the rain, it's raining here. I was putting them doggone plants in them buckets. I didn't even videotape it. I was getting so into it. I was like, man, I ain't got time to grab the camera. Because once you out there, listen, once you out there, your mind is gone. Remember, face off. You are face off. When you go out in the garden, you are gone. Once you get in the groove, and then at first you kind of don't know quite what you're doing out there and what your plans are and how you want it, but give it about 10 minutes. It only takes 10 minutes. And next thing you know, you only came out here to water the garden. Next thing you know, you planting flowers. The next thing you know, you pruning fruit trees. The next thing you know, you pulling weeds from around said tree. The next thing you know, you picking fruit. The next thing you know, you getting the grass. Next thing you know, you collecting eggs from your chickens. That's what I did today. And it was pouring down raining. Oh God, it was pouring down raining and I didn't even stop. Because you so face off. You so in the zone, you don't even realize you gone. You don't even realize you out there. That's spiritual. That's church. Everybody talking about I'm going to church on Sunday. Go out in your garden and watch how spiritually lost you get. Watch how spiritually lost you get in the moment when you go out in your garden and then your only intention was to come out here and plant a seed. All you needed to do was put these seeds to bed. It was supposed to only take you 5 minutes. Next thing you know, 5 hours have passed. Everything on you was dirty. You was dressed for a meeting that you had to do or some things, some running you had to do. But next thing you know, all your clean clothes is filthy from God's soil out there. That's what you, family, that's spirituality right there. I don't care what nobody say. You could tell me whatever you want to about your faith and religion. You could tell me whatever you want to, but you cannot deny that. There's something that happens to you out there in that garden. You know why? It's almost like you become something or somebody else. You kind of black out. You blink out. And the next thing you know, you're looking at your watch like you've been in a time warp. And you come back like, oh my God. Oh, it's time for me to go pick up the kids from school. I'm late to go pick up the kids from school. How many times have you been late to pick your kids up from school because you was out in the garden? So you had to go inside of the school to the office because your kid is sitting in the office sad like you done abandoned them. And you look like somebody just dragged you behind the Buick 15 miles because you filthy dirty. You still got your garden gloves on. Like, I'm sorry, I'm here to pick up Shane. I'm very sorry about this. Time slipped away from me. You're filthy. You look like you just got done committing a crime. That's what the garden do to you. That's what the garden do to you. The reason is that powerful. I needed to say that to you because that's how powerful changing our financial and our medical outcome is. That it is that powerful. If we want to stay out of that hospital, we need to go to the garden. If we want to stay out of that prison, go to the garden. I told y'all this before and I'm going to say it again. That garden saved my life. My mama had me in that garden every single time one of my friends was like, come on, man, let's go to the mall. Come on, man, let's go to the house party. Come on, man, let's go skating. Come on, man, let's go to the club. My mama would always say, who you going? Who you going with? Who you going with? I'm going with Dink and them. You and Keith come with me. Come on. And my cousin like, what? You too. Come on. Y'all help me pull these weeds, and when y'all done, you can go to the mall. Dink, baby, all y'all go ahead. They'll meet you at the mall. I'll drop them off if I have to, but go ahead. But my mama missed the bus. You help me get these weeds. So me and my cousin, we pulling weeds. We in the garden pulling weeds. We're pulling weeds. Next thing you know, it's dark. Next thing you know, the last bus only going one direction, so you know you can't get back. Dad, if I go to the mall real quick, can you bring me back? Hell no. You know what time it is? Don't you got school in the morning? No. You didn't meet to the mall, but it was times where my friends come back with some wonderful story. Oh man, we met all kind of girls, man. They was on us. They was loving that we had pagers. But most of the time, I got the stories of them running for their lives from getting shot at. Or I got the stories that one of my friends got shot. I got a lot of the stories that my friends end up dead or in the hospital from the stuff. Got hit by a car. Somebody got drunk and got so sick that they in the hospital getting their stomach pumped. I missed out on all that because my mama had me in that garden pulling weeds. That garden saved my life. It's days that I be wanting to be done with gardening. It's days that I want to be finished. I'm like, you know what? Forget this. I'm going to Kroger's. I'm going to eat my apples from Kroger's. I'm not growing. I've been taking care of this tree for 4 years, and I got 2 apples. I'm done. And right when you say that out of your mouth, wow, I'm getting emotional. Right when you say that out your mouth, that next year is the apple trees, the branches is touching the ground, son. The apples and the oranges is touching the ground. It's like the trees heard you. And the trees are saying, don't give up on me. I got you. Just give me a little time. Just like our relationships, you learn stuff in that garden, just like you learn in your relationship. Baby, just give me a little time. I'm trying to get myself together. I know it seems like I'm crazy right now. I know it seems like nothing I'm doing make no sense. Just give me a little more time. I'm telling you, it's going to make sense. That garden is going to keep us from having them make bigger prisons. That garden is going to keep us out of them damn hospitals. Every time they interview one of these people that's 80, 90, 100 years old, they say, what's your secret, G-Ma? What's your secret, Grandma? What's your secret, Granny? Fresh fruits and vegetables and a glass of wine. Tell me I'm lying when I ain't. Every last time somebody interview one of them, that's exactly what I love to dance. I love to walk, go for a walk. I love to sing. I love fresh carrots, my favorite food. Every last one of them people to make it up into them triple digits, they all got the same recipe for longevity. All of them. Fresh fruits, vegetables, exercise like they say dancing, and a glass of wine. 1 glass every day. I can't make this up. You've heard the same stories I've heard. You've watched the same people I've watched on the news. Every time, this is Miss Betty Edna, and she's turning 112 today. Tell her, and they can still talk to you like they got some sense. They still looking you dead in the eye. Some of them standing up while they getting interviewed, and they 100 and some change, son. All of them tell you they recipe to longevity. My wife's grandmother passed away, and let me tell you something. You know all she said, wasn't sick. Wasn't sick. You know what she said, baby? I'm tired. I can understand that. They just tired of seeing all this crazy stuff in this new weird world we live in. They ain't unhealthy. They just tired of being here in this maze of madness. Every time one of these people pass away and they're 100 and some change, they be like, man, I'm tired of this. That's the only thing. I'm tired of this. Tired. They don't say, you don't have to visit them in the hospital or nothing. The doctor is like scratching his head. I don't understand. All her vitals is good. She's just tired. And them the same ones that say, listen, I'm waiting, grandma on the bed, on her last bed, and she say, I'm waiting for Bobby to come before I go. I can't go until I see Bobby. That's my baby. I'm not leaving the earth until Bobby comes. Bobby in California. It takes Bobby a week to get to North Carolina. Bobby finally get to North Carolina. Grandma kiss her baby boy goodbye, and she's gone that night. She's in complete control of her existence on this rock. She didn't die of heart failure and all this other crap we got. She died because she tired of seeing this madness. Hell, I ain't that old, and I'm tired of seeing it. We got to get in that garden. Everybody got if you ain't got a piece of land, you got a bucket. If you got a balcony, you got a bucket. Plant something in that bucket, man. Keep us out of the hospital. Because I'm telling you, they showing you how much control they got over us right now. Look, they're flashing it in your face like Diddy and them with the rollies, remember? All in your face. They flashing it in your face. We so rich off y'all stupid mugs. We gonna build this hospital so big and belligerent that we gonna have neon lights on this joint, boy. We gonna make, look, we gonna have it like lit up like a damn Las Vegas stage show with Elvis, Michael Jackson, and Prince performing on the same stage at the same time. That's how stupid we gonna get with it. We got our money so long, we gonna be having you, we gonna have chairs out here so you can watch us do surgery. You gonna pay for admission. That's how belligerent and bold we is. That's how it is now. I was in a waiting room inside of a hospital, and the waiting room felt like I was at the club. I can remember when waiting rooms was waiting rooms. That you sat in there for about an hour and the doctor come out. Okay, it's over. He's gonna pull through. Everything is great. The chairs was hard. They was metal. They slid back and forth. Now, the chairs inside of these waiting rooms, they recline. It's TVs all over the place, vending machines, a pinball game, and an old Pac-Man. I'm like, what the hell is this? What are we waiting for? Are we waiting for them to get out of surgery? Or should I put some more money in this change slot machine and get more quarters because I'm killing them on Donkey Kong? This is the hospital now. It's a restaurant in the hospital. Huh? It's a restaurant. They're putting restaurants inside of the hospitals that's so premier that you ain't even in the hospital. You don't got no family members in the hospital. You ain't got no reason to be inside the hospital. But when you go on break from your job, you drive across town, go through the ER, down into the basement to go to their restaurant because their coffee is better than Starbucks. Their sandwiches, they cooking steaks and lobster and stuff inside the hospital. Don't tell me, because I used to work there and people that didn't even that work in our hospital, ain't had nothing to do with our hospital, they ain't had no family members in the hospital. These are people that worked across the street at the Jiffy Lube that would come inside the hospital to get a bomb meal for cheap. So if a meal that good inside the hospital, I could get a steak dinner for $6.95, baked potato and steak and string beans. You can't beat that. All the gravy I want, okay? Huh? Who's paying for this food? The patient is. Because they don't pay the food workers in there. They got real chefs in there. I'm not making this up. They got real chefs. I'm not even talking about the Subways, the Wendy's and stuff inside of them. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about the fresh serve, order it your way, sit down, grab a menu, garçon. I'm talking about those. The last hospital I worked at, that's what it had inside of it. Have it your way. Frying it, grilling your steak fresh on the grill. Where's all this money coming from? Off of our illnesses. The money is coming off our illnesses. Why are they having money for more prisons, for free labor, modern day slavery? That's where the money coming from. And if we're going to put a stop to it, it start right here in your own backyard. It start right here in your own backyard by planting one little seed. One little seed will, that's how we stop it. Marching out in front of the hospital and the prisons, hell no, we won't go, is not going to work. That's not going to do it. You got to cut off the money. Once you cut off, remember, this is what detectives always say. We find the money trail, we find the suspect. And every detective, and there's some police watching me right now, the first thing y'all do to find the suspect, find the criminal, the first thing Even before you look for blood spatter, follow the money. Follow the money trail. And you always end up with the culprit. If you follow the money, you always end up with your suspect or the person you about to arrest. It's no different in the rest of this. If you cut that money off and start making a change, you know, even with on crime, you know where the trail go cold, where the hands stop exchanging money. Then the trail go cold like last person he paid was Lil Bub, and now we don't know because somebody got rid of Lil Bub. So the money trail stopped right there. So now we have to do some real true forensic detective work. Now on the first 48. You know what I'm saying? That first 24 hours was follow the money. But once somebody got rid of the dude that had all the knowledge about how it happened, okay, now we got to go to forensics. It's no different in society. You want this dumb stuff to stop happening to us? Plant a seed. You cut their money off, you live longer. You cut their money off, that money goes in your pocket and down so you can give it for generational wealth to your children and children's children. We can't leave no generational wealth because we too busy giving it to the prisons and the hospitals and the court system. You want to know how to make it stop? Plant a seed. Put those seeds to bed. Put them seeds to bed if you want to make this stop. I have never in my life seen nothing like the hospitals that I've seen. And they weren't beautiful to me. These hospitals that I saw were not beautiful to me. I felt like I'm watching a spacecraft land. I was taken back by looking at these ginormous, bright, lit up, glowing structures in the middle of the ghetto. I was watching these big, giant, lit up structures in the middle of the hood. I wasn't like, that's beautiful. I was like, what have we become? How flashy, how big of a smack in the damn face is it when you have a hospital that looks like a Las Vegas stage show, a carnival or the fireworks. Every 5 minutes, you know, you staring at this hospital from where the park used to be. You at a red light and you where the park used to be. You staring at this hospital. You know what you waiting for? You waiting on Mariah Carey to come out and start singing her Christmas song. Yeah, boy, shut up. You waiting on Mariah Carey to come out and start singing All I Want for Christmas Is You. Because it is that spectacular. These hospitals is that spectacular that you're waiting on a damn show. Is Michael Jackson going to be out here? Tupac? What is that where they digitally put Tupac back on the stage? Because these lights is glowing. And you waiting either for Mariah Carey to go on stage or a damn Little Green Men come out the front door of it. You're not expecting people to be in there. Because this thing that's supposed to be a hospital, it looks like a smack in the face to everybody around it that they snatched up the neighborhood that can't even afford to be in it. You know, if you're going inside of this spaceship, like they've been saying about spaceships for all these years, you go inside that spaceship, you ain't coming back. You ain't coming back the same person you was when you left. And here's the thing. When you go inside of one of these hospitals, ain't nobody gonna believe you. You come out telling your story, I was awake the whole time while they was cutting on me, doing surgery. Everybody just, don't nobody believe that, because if you felt all that pain, you would be dead. I'm telling you, they didn't use no anesthesia. I was woke for the whole thing. I just couldn't move. Don't that sound just like the stories of people saying they got sucked up by them spaceships? Then the little green one grabbed some type of probe and jammed it up my box, and I didn't know what to do. I couldn't move. I could see the little thing, but it sound the same. It sound incredible. Don't it sound impossible? But that's happening to us for real. You would You would think they, instead of investing in all these damn neon lights and extra structures to build onto this hospital, you would think they would invest in more technological ways to, instead of doing invasive surgery and having to open you up and go get up inside you for stuff. It's certain things that you don't have to open people's body parts up no more to take care of. This is the deal. If you can't afford those surgeries, they opening you up. They opening you up like a box of cereal, son. They're going to open you up like a new box of Cheerio. If you can afford it, they have all kind of technological marvels to break up cancer cells with lasers. Not invasive. You don't even know you was in surgery. Half the time, you can be perfectly woke. And while they breaking up cancer cells with these special laser lights, you don't feel a thing. If you can afford it. If you can't afford it, yeah, we're gonna have to take that whole arm off, son. But I thought you said it's just a little. Nope, that arm gotta go. We don't got time for that. If you can't afford that laser, that arm gotta go. All my question be is, man, what you do with that arm? Right? What you do with that? What you do with my arm? If you have to take a piece of me off, I want that. I want that back. I needs that, son. If you gonna remove a piece of me, I want it. I'm gonna dip it in a pickle jar or something. I needs that though. You took it out. I'm paying you to take it out. Look, you know what? When you go to the tire shop, they don't keep your old tires. They give them to you. They give you your old tires if you could go and get some new tires. And they say, if you want us to get rid of them, you know, that's a disposal fee. And the disposal fee is $100 per tire. So, okay. If you got to cut pieces of my body part off, man, hand me that. Give me that. My eyeball or something. Give me that. No. This stuff done went too far, man. They taking pieces off us and out of us and not telling us what they doing with it. We're going to study it. For what? Nah. Give me that back. Give me that back. I'm going to hang on to that. Because you was too quick to tell me you about to take my whole arm off. You didn't give me no other alternatives. You didn't say fingers. You didn't say skin grafts. No, you said that whole arm from the shoulder hump got to come off. What?
He did.
For this rash? Huh?
You know how they say people getting sucked up by UFOs?
Yeah.
I think they really just talk about medical bills.
Probably. So I'm just going to leave it right there. I didn't want to get all into the crazy because I seen some crazy comments popping up. So I'm going to leave that right there. But I'm telling you, I've been in 2 different cities. I've been in the city I live in now, and I was in my home city. And the prisons and the hospitals are spectacular, if you will, for lack of a better word. Never seen nothing like it before. I bet you it's a movie theater in there while somebody having surgery. You can go catch a movie. And we're paying for this stuff with our lives. We're paying for this stuff with our very lives, with our blood. Right? Literally. Yes, you can go catch a movie, popcorn, Juji beans, the whole thing. This is the hospital. People are visiting the hospital. This is a true story. People are going to the hospitals to go shopping in the gift stores because the gift stores, everybody's bottom floor looks like the mall. I'd rather go into the gift store in the hospital than go to the mall. The mall, you're going to get shot up. You go to the gift store in the hospital, people used to come from miles around to my hospital to go to the gift store. I can't make that up. And if some of my friends is watching me right now, all my OG nurses and doctors, you know I ain't lying. What do we do on some of our breaks? Where you going? I'm going out on lunch. Well, I'm heading down to the gift store. The gift store ain't what it used to be. You go into this little old box, and it's a little lady back there, and she's selling keychains. That ain't what the gift store is no more in the hospital. They selling all kind of stuff. Gift cards, novelties, roller skates. You know, you feel like you in Walmart. You think I'm lying? Listen, when I was a nurse, love you, man. When I was a nurse, and I know I got to work on Christmas Day, right? I know I got to work on these holidays. I went Christmas shopping at the gift store. And there was some of this stuff was one of a kind. You can't find this nowhere. Where did you get, my mama, where did you get this? This is beautiful. Oh, yeah. Just, mama, try it on, see if it fit. You hear what I said? Mama, try that on, see if it fit. See if, okay. You want me to zip it up in the back? Okay. You hear what I just said? That's the gift store. You buying clothes, shoes, hats, jewelry at the gift store. You'll be in there all day. They need to give you shopping carts. They probably do now. You need a shopping cart when you go in a hospital gift store. How is this built around helping people live longer or fixing people's health? That's because it's not built to fix your health. It's not. You're supposed to be fixing your health in your backyard by growing some food, planting a seed, putting them seeds to bed. That's how you fix your health. The only thing you're going to do in the hospital, it ain't no different than going to Las Vegas, because you're going to keep on going there wasting money. Keep on going there wasting money. Keep on going there wasting money. You'll never win. You'll never win. The only things you win in Vegas and in the hospitals, think about it. That's why they both look alike now. The hospital look just like them places in Vegas. The only thing you win is a little win. They might fix one little thing that kept you upright, but the bill is what's going to kill you. The surgery saved you long enough for you to make more money, or them to get more money off of your, what they call it, your income, your fixed income. They make just enough money off you to get some more of that money. They're not there to help you. They're not there to fix you for good. They're there to put a Band-Aid on a decapitation. That's the only way we gonna fix ourselves and stay out of the. You wanna stay out of the doggone casino? Stop gambling. Stay out of casino. Stop gambling. You want to stay out of the hospital? Go out there and plant you some food. It's that simple. It sounds so simple that it sounds ridiculous. Right, Delano, it's a temporary fix. It's a temporary fix. That hospital and that casino is the exact same thing. You'll never win going in there. You'll never win. Because even if they save you, for instance, if you win in Las Vegas, you win the jackpot, you win $10,000 and a new car, you got to pay the taxes on it. That's going to take 2/3 of what you just won. You're going to be so miserable. You're going to blow through that money and not know that you had to pay taxes on it, and turn around and end up going bankrupt or getting caught for tax evasion. It's no different. Hospital, you go in there, you happy because they saved your life, and then 30 days later, you get the bill for $225,000. Your HMO covered $25,000 of it, 10%. Next thing you know, you got to pay $200,000 hospital bill, and you already got a red notice on your front door. And they talk about auctioning off your house for tax money because you done spent the last 3 to 6 months in the hospital. You ain't brought no income in. Your insurance done ran, your health insurance done ran out. Your life insurance, you borrowing off of your life insurance policy. You tapped out. Your cousin done loaned you everything. You don't even went in your old secret sock in the mattress. You out. You tapped out. So now, just like Vegas, people end up homeless in Vegas. In the hospital, you end up dying from misery. Suffering, not suffering from your physical internal problems. You end up suffering from your mental problems. You keep that worrying. Worrying can kill you faster than a knife stab. I'm telling you. Stress can kill you faster than a gunshot wound. That's why people be like, man, don't be doing no pranks because you'll give people a heart attack. If you, and I'm going to switch that real quick. You do a prank on somebody and they have a heart attack and die, you're going to prison for involuntary manslaughter. So stressing people like that, that's a slow death. Stressing over how you gonna pay these bills. Stressing over I'm so old and I'm so weak. How am I gonna move all this furniture to the storage? So stressful, so old in age, and you done had this stuff for 40, 50 years. You've been building this empire. You ain't even thought about how you gonna move it. And all of a sudden, now you got, I don't know, they give you got 6 months to be out. That stress, forget the surgery. Think about, forget the surgery you just had. That stress is going to kill you. That's why I tell my wife, don't call the ambulance. Don't call the doctor. Don't take me to no hospital. It's cheaper to bury me. It's cheaper to bury me. Because if they do save my life and they do fix me, I'm going to come home to a $50,000 to $100,000 hospital bill, and that's going to stress me out till I die anyway. It's cheaper to bury me. And then instead of me leaving you generational wealth to my wife and my children, I'm going to leave you generational debt from the hospital bills and the ambulance. Because when one of our family members die, they ain't done looking for their money. Yes, I'm looking for such and such. And yeah, they passed away 30 days ago. Oh, sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. My condolences. But I hate to say this, but they had an outstanding bill of $1,200 for the ambulance service that took them to the hospital. Yeah, you must didn't hear the part where I said they're deceased. Oh yeah, I got that. I got that part of your message. I understand they're deceased, and but there's still the matter of this outstanding bill of $1,290. Whoa! So go ask them. Go ask them to get it. My daddy passed away. This is a real conversation. Somebody asked me if there's still an outstanding bill. Well, go ask him for it. See what he tell you. Ask him. His son said, what did he want me to do about it? And come back and tell me what he tell you. The hell you want me to do? They gonna keep on calling for the next 10 to 15 years trying to get that $1,200. So instead of us leaving generational wealth, we are leaving our generational wealth to the doctors, the lawyers, the hospitals, and the prisons. That's where we're leaving our generational wealth. We're leaving this earth with generational debt because after we're gone, our children, they're hunting after our children and our children's children to get debt that you owe them because of what the system they set up and put in place. There is no reason on the planet Earth none of this should cost this much. What you mean I owe you $10,000 because you pumped my stomach? I owe you $10,000 because you pumped my stomach because I was sick? So then when you try to take matters in your own hands, that's illegal. You can't go in one of these back alleys and try to get yourself fixed. My cousin Ray got some of them knives just like that. If you clean them off, I know he throws them like targets sometime, but he keep them sharp. No, man. Hell no. It's illegal for me to take matters into my own hands, but it's perfectly legal for you to rob me. I'll be damned. Listen, let me tell you something. We think criminals, we're programmed to think criminals supposed to come up to you in a mask and a hoodie. Over the last 15 years, that's what it's been. Hoodies, right? Hoodies. Hoodies is dangerous. They even got stores saying no hoodies allowed inside the store. Take your hood off inside the store. It's signs on all the stores now. Take your hood off when you come inside the store. They should say take off your damn tie when you come inside the store. You can't say a criminal is the one with the hood on. The biggest criminals is the ones that suit and tie. And gaiters on. We crossed the street when a couple of homeboys walking down the street in a Dickie suit with a hoodie. We crossed the street like I don't want no trouble. But we'll walk right past the man in the suit and the tie and the briefcase and say, good day. Inside that briefcase is a bunch of life insurance policies that he got off a whole bunch of people. He just robbed a bunch of people for almost $1 million, and these two homeboys, they might rob you for $20. Our whole way of thinking is screwed up. I was hearing people, ooh, yes, our new hospital is so beautiful. You proud of that? You proud of that? Because you could say the prison was beautiful too. Beautiful architecture. I love the way they put the barbed wire where the razors don't quite shine. I don't know what a prison need with a skylight, just like the hospital, but to each his own. You could say that about that. It's bull. We don't need this, man. To keep us out of them prisons, keep us out of them hospitals, man, go put that seed to bed. Go get you a bucket and plant doggone seeds right now. That's how we gonna get out of this mess. It's the only way. It's the only way. That's a start anyway. Everybody keep thinking this is a game. Man, do me a favor, go back and watch Soylent Green, the movie. Charlton Heston, none of this new crap. Go watch Omega Man. Not the Will Smith version. Go back and watch Omega Man, the original version. That's what's happening right now. Food shortages. If you don't know what movie Soylent Green is, here's the premise. Here's just the meat and potatoes of it. There's a food shortage. They're handing out and giving the community food, but don't nobody know what these little green crackers is that look like Cheez-Its. Don't nobody know what these little green Cheez-It crackers is. They just know we gotta eat it to stay alive. Don't that sound familiar? Restaurants admitting to, yeah, this ain't meat. Some of this vegetable stuff and some of this food has plastic and metal in it. I'm not saying that this ain't a conspiracy. This is real. If you go and try to burn some of this stuff, it don't burn. It don't burn, man. It melts. You go try to burn some of this rice. It don't start burning like burnt rice. Burnt rice stink, right? Burnt rice stink. It don't burn. It kind of melts. Depending on what brand you get, it kind of melts. And then it'll catch a flame. The flame will stay on the rice. I ain't never seen no damn rice. Now, I done burnt up my share of rice in the pan, okay? You know how it is. You've been sipping and you done fell asleep and the pot is on the stove burning. That rice burns and it stink up the whole house. Not no more. It kind of melts. So if you start talking about what we eating anymore, and some of these facilities have admitted to all of this, what are we doing? We turning a blind eye and just saying that's good enough. It's okay with me, long as I eat. I'm not saying we're going to be perfect, but at least thing we can do is cut some of this garbage that we're consuming with some God-given healthy food that we grew ourselves. It's no different than you picking up practicing your spirituality. I'm going to say that. It's no different than that. You know the world we live in today, and you're doing everything in your power to stay on track with the Father. You're doing your best. Lord knows you're doing your best. Okay. Same thing with our health. You know what the system they got set up for us, the stuff we have, our selections to eat, our food supply to eat. The best we can do is try to cut some of that with spiritual vegetation, I guess you can call it. Growing your own food, cutting some of this poison and toxins and chemicals that they're giving us with a little bit of homegrown, spiritual, godly food that you know where it came from. That's the only way. The world we live in, practicing your spirituality is the only way you're going to find yourself and keep yourself above water. And when it comes to the food, the only way we're going to get anywhere is with all this poison and stuff they feeding us. Man, you got to grow some of your own food. That's going to be the only way we fix any of this. It's a lot of stuff being said right now. It's a lot of truths being told. And it's also a lot of lies being told. But you know the truth from a lie. Deep inside your heart, you know the truth from a lie. And you know I ain't lying to you right now. So with that being said, I'm going to get off of here. And I'm going to go hang out with my baby boy. Because he was with me. He know. That's why he came and spoke on some of this stuff. He know we was tripping. We was tripping on these hospitals. Thank you, everybody, for listening to me go at it. I'm just wondering, am I the only one? If I'm not the only one peeping this game, put it down in the comments below. Tell us your story. Tell us your situation, because I want to hear it. I think we all need to hear it. Put your piece down in the comment section below. Tell us your story and tell me, am I tripping? Or is they running game on us? That's all I'm saying. And not just that, how are you planning to fix it? All right? Everybody have a wonderful night. Leah Farmer 73. Please stay safe. Keep your eye and your head on swivel. I love you. Good night. Put those comments in the comment section below. Tell me your story and tell me am I tripping and see if you peep game. And then tell me if you can figure out a solution to all this mess. Leah Farmer 73, I love you. Good night.